Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring your boy, Captain Eustace Kid. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP12 here on the channel, let alone a leader in which seems to be favorited by a lot of people in the community, except for Kid. Is not necessarily a tier 1 or a tier 2 leader, maybe tier 0.25 at the very best currently. We have gained access to some new tools, being the 4-drop Kuma Law and a 6-drop secret rare Kuma from OP12. This deck has gained access to some new tools, but can he still hold up to the current metagame in OP12? I'll leave that, for you guys to find out. But currently, we have a lot of very powerful decks coming out of OP12 and PRB. Things like Zoro, and of course Smoker, Jewelry Bonnie, and we're going to take note of the green decks right now, Law, just because we have a card such as Hody Jones, which still exists in the current game, which is very good. Like, I love this card, and I think a lot of people love and hate this card as well, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of very strong green decks in the current format, in which utilize Hody Jones. And if you guys are familiar with how Kid works, we have access to a ridiculous amount of blockers. Being able to have cheap bodies on board like Scratch Minapoo or the 2-cost Veggie here, or being able to give something blocker like Hawkins or anything else with Supernova tag with your leader ability is very susceptible to Hody Jones. And even if you are at a healthy state, one of those green decks dropping a Hody early game can really just turn the game in their favor and clear your board. But I digress. He does have some pretty good matchups into today's metagame, but he also has some pretty bad matchups into other decks like Blackbeard and UP Luffy, the purple-green Luffy, and of course, Roano Zoro himself. With that being said, are people still utilizing and playing Kid? I don't see why not. He's not necessarily bad, but he's not tier 1. He's still very fun to play. He does have some very interesting deck variations that he can build from. We heal a lot with the Kuma, the Law, and of course, Kikanojos and things of that nature, and sometimes the 2-cost Veggie. The deck itself is still very fun. But it does have its glaring weaknesses, but we're going to dive into a bunch of games today. I do hope you guys are going to enjoy it. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this deck list and why we're going to be utilizing certain cards here, and then we'll play a bunch of games as we typically do. I've added in 2 8-cost categories, and this is kind of like maybe a popular opinion, or maybe just, I don't know, I'm spitballing here. 8-cost category I feel like has some play here in the current metagame in OP12, because you got to keep in mind there are going to be the other category still running around here, which is going to be the newer variation of just mono purple. He does come back because we gained access to PRB, in which a lot of these games today we're probably going to be playing against other decks that are utilizing PRB, and I can't really do anything about it. So, because I am trying to play test and play around with things from OP12. PRB comes out in, what, the 10th month of this year? In any case, he has access to 8-cost category, right? And I think every purple deck in today's metagame is also utilizing this. Every purple variation of Luffy is running this card. And I figured that we don't have removal as much as I would like to utilize. There's no more Raigo, there's no more Kingdom Come, so I've been utilizing 8-cost category to try to get around this if possible. The other card in which I do want to play around with a little bit more once I get some more testing done is going to be the new 1-drop Slam Gibson. It's not going to be called this on paper, but this still seems to be a pretty solid card. I'm not 100% on how I want to spin it here in this list. I may be cutting out some Red Hawks just to utilize some more of these. The downside to this is you're giving your opponent more life, and I think in a deck where you have to play against blue purple Luffy, allowing them to heal more really just lets this deck pop off, because being able to play down a 9-cost Big Mom to heal a life, to remove a body, if I decide to play this on board as well to remove one of those Big Moms or Katakuris or Sanjis, guess what? They gain an extra life. Therefore, they can stay alive longer, which makes it a little bit harder for me to deal with this deck. So, this seems like a double-edged sword. And it also seems like you're not really utilizing this as often or as much as you would like to, unless you are playing into the blue-purple Luffy. Every other deck you can kind of get around without even utilizing this right now, because there's not a lot of other decks that have problematic big bodies that you can touch when it comes to cost 9 or lower. You have the Sanjis, the Big Moms, the Katakuris, and that's pretty much it, unless I'm missing a few. Unless you guys are gonna, tag me and say something about what about the 8-cost Eustace Kid, which in a sense, sure, but Tashigi, Capone, they both exist. So, in any case, that's just my hot take on this new one drop. Now, the Red Hawk here still seems to make sense because this can be utilized to remove the Sanji pudding, which no matter if they give it like the stage cost increase and stuff, you can still pop this and get that out of the gate. That's awesome. The other variations here to this list, if you guys are familiar with my previous variation, I was not utilizing Kikinojo, and I still feel like I like Viola better here in this list or in this deck, just because I can flip my life face down in case my opponent decides to starve me and I can't use my leader ability, and this is also another cheap blocker. I'm looking to probably drop this entirely just to go back into Viola. I think I'm more favorable into Viola. I know I lose a body on board, but I also still gain counter, and I'm able to flip my opponent's life any way I want them, after I organize, which is kind of nice. So, just something to take into consideration. Now, with the Kuma, this gives us another way of healing. This also heals us again if your opponent KOs it. So, it's a body on board. Your opponent has a very hard time of removing it on the turn it's played because it gets an additional +2 cost. So it's an 8 cost, 7k body that heals you one. And then when it goes to the trash, when it's KO'd, it also heals you again, which is really, really good. But I digress. We're going to go ahead and dive into a bunch of games today. I'm going to try my very, very best with this leader in OP12 and see what we can do. Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Eustace Kid playing into Perona here in OP12. Yes, we are going to record this game. This game will probably go up. I apologize if you guys aren't interested in this sort of matchup, but Perona has gained access to some new tools in between PRB and OP12. So, I'm kind of excited to see what she's going to be cooking up here. She does have access to the brand new Moria. That does come out a little later, but again, I cannot switch between PRB and OP12. I would love to play everything in OP12, because I am playing in OP12, and PRB doesn't come out for a little while. But the sim is set up in such a way, it is what it is. I'm just grateful that we can have a place to play and test cards. Now, with that being said, we're going to try our best here in this matchup. This is going to be pretty tough due to the fact that our Basil Hawkins loses a lot of value. Our Kikinojos lose a lot of value here because she can just rest them and remove them and do her shenanigans, if you will. Now, I do think Perona is still going to be played here, especially once she gains access to the Moria. I think this deck will come back and do a whole bunch of work. Now, she can be built in numerous different ways. So I do think people are going to have to cook up something spicy to make it relevant again, and I don't think that's going to be a problem here with this deck. Oof, here we go again. I do not miss having to discard cards, especially when I'm playing a yellow deck. This hurts. I don't miss it when I was playing a Nell, and she would play down the Peronas or what have you to make me discard stuff. It sucks. With Kid, we typically have a lot of 2k counters, a lot of small chump blockers and stuff. To throw them away early for free is just, it feels terrible. I could draw 2 here and fix my hand, but I don't think my hand's that bad. It would be nice to find myself like a Law or an 8-cost Eustace Kid here. We're not going to trigger this. It's fine, because if we play it down next turn, she just rests it, right? And then she either attacks into it still, or the body stays on board, and that's okay. We're not going to do anything else here anyhow besides go face, and then probably just play down Hawkins. Playing Zeus pops the Perona. She potentially can get it back from the trash. I get that, but we lose another life. And we're going to lose a life next turn anyway, once she rests the Hawkins. So, yeah, let's just go 6 lead here. Captain John can stay on board. If she wants to utilize that by attaching 2 Dawn, go for it. I just want to get the pressure up here very, very quickly. There's another Perona. We'll drop the Law. Not the Law, sorry, the Hawkins. And we'll do the thing. Nice. We get a Law under life here as well. So we're at, what, 5? Go to 7 next turn. Allows us to heal up, or we can play Kuma down. I do like dropping Kuma on board against any black variation. I think it's very strong. The other downside to the card, though, playing Eustace Kid into Kuzan in OP12, Kuma is kind of irrelevant at that point, because he either just red rocks it, or he lets it live on board for 1 turn, then he drops Gravity Blade. Then Kuma gets no value. Because then he'll do something like Gravity Blade, my Hawkins, and my Kuma, and then I'm just sitting here feeling very, very sad with no board. It's just, a lot of decks can still deal with it. There are just some decks that cannot. And I think the ones that cannot deal with it are the ones that aren't currently just like relevant, if that makes sense. Another trash. I guess we'll throw away a Kuma here. I hate doing this because it gives her information, but I'd rather keep the 2k counter. She goes 5 lead. We need to take at least one of these hits here. That way we can get the 7-drop Law. And then we can counter this one here with the 2k counter. She's got 4 cards left in hand. I'm thinking I'm going to starve her next turn instead of going for face. Because I think going for face, she just takes the cards, right? This way we can go 5 and 5 into both Peronas and hopefully get more cards out of hand, or just let them go to trash. It's kind of a win-win for me here. Okay, cool. She gave me nothing, so I'm assuming she doesn't have counter, or she didn't really care about them, which doesn't make any sense to me. And I probably should have played Law here instead, but it's okay. We'll drop Kuma down, and then we'll also play the 1-drop Luffy, just to get a search off. I'll pitch a 2k counter. We'll keep the Zeus for now, and we'll go ahead and search with this. Not bad. We do get a Kid. But I think we're just going to play Law next turn anyway. I mean, Kid's not bad, right? But it's just no counter. We'll be at 7. That's 7, right? 7, yeah, that's 7. Kid still lets us draw. We can get the trash life. Basically, this is a rush character with Banish, which is pretty strong here. What we got? Zeus, give this blocker. Kind of irrelevant because she's going to rest it anyway, but still. I like to have the option, you know? If she wants to rest it and pop it with a Ryoma, go for it. Awesome. I'll take that. Ooh, Finger Pistol. That was pretty good. That was actually really good there. I mean, she wasn't popping anything on board outside of Hawkins if we decided to swing with it the following turn, but still. Alright, so we got 4 Dawn left, 4 cards in hand. That Gecko Moria is so strong, by the way. Although it's a 6-drop with a 7k, the stats aren't necessarily what you need to be worrying. It's more so the effect that it allows you to do. It's mini Gecko Moria. It's pretty good. 5 lead here. So then she has a 7 and a 7. Okay, never mind. We'll give you the Zeus. What do you do for 2? Okay. Cerberus. 3 cards left. I do kind of miss the samurai variation of Perona, because I feel like having 3 cards in hand here on a 4-life leader is kind of just tragic. Not being able to draw or have an opportunity of drawing cards just seems like very lackluster with Perona, so maybe Samurai can come back once she's gained access to the new Moria here. We'll drop Law. So I think a lot of decks, or a lot of players in general, probably were not here when Perona was, doing well, or when she was actually in the metagame. So people are still going to be playing against new decks, quote unquote, or new revamped decks, which would be really, really cool to see. Let's go 3 into John here. Not really do anything else with these Dawn, so it's okay, because now we can go 7 and 7 with Kuma and Eustace Kid to face. This will force the block, or force her to go down to 1 life. And then she knows that we have the Eustace Kid. So regardless of how she played it here, unless she had counter in hand, yeah, we win game next turn. Unless she plays on a couple blockers here. Because now we just drop the Eustace Kid and then go heavy with Kuma Law and Kid. and call it a day. Perona still does have access to things like Sabo and the Rebecca play if she wants to do something like that, but oh, a Kuzan. Sure, I'll heal up, no problem. You love to see it. But no, I'm guessing she didn't have any other options here. That's probably why she just dropped the Kuzan. 6 lead. I don't mind taking these hits anyway, because we just win next turn. 5 into Luffy or face. Okay. Can I have? Thank you. Take the X-Drake here as well. And GG. Go ahead and burn this life. We'll go 7 lead first and go 9k with Law afterwards. It's just math, right? I guess we can just attach it to Law too, but yeah, we'll just do math. Yeah. Let's see if she wants to play again real quick. I very much like seeing this deck back in the metagame. Bello Betty here too, interesting. I don't know how I feel about the Bello Betty. I guess it just gives her like trash and able to remove bodies on board. I get that, so it's kind of interesting. Oof, this hand is pretty tragic, actually. Not the best. Let's see what we get this time. Still not the best, but it'll do. Okay, so she got Sindri this time. That trash is not looking too bad. She does have Cerberus to pull back later on. Perona and Moria in trash is not coming back out, which is nice to see. We have nothing really here to play. I can't really drop down the Apu because she just rested and kills it, so I'd rather just it be Hawkins on board, and that way she has an opportunity to just rest it and trash a life. Ooh, we're going to go with Stage in the 2-cost blocker. I like that. Interesting. 6 lead. That's fine. Get another Apu. I'm going to keep clearing the dog. This way she's forced to spend the Dawn to bring it back on board rested, and she's not getting cards from life. Which is okay. She has to spend 1 Dawn to get it back from the trash. Going for face here just gives her free cards, and I know she doesn't have a lot of ways to draw cards here in this variation, so we played on Hawkins here. This will also just allow her to rest it and attack into it if she wants to, which I'm okay with. I'm just contemplating on doing the ability, but it's fine, I guess. We don't really care about him being on board. He's going to do a damage, you know, anyway, which is nice. Ores, okay. I see. I like this setup. This way she can just trash the dog to allow Ores to swing in for free and then bring it back as a blocker. Or she can get rid of the Sindri for Ores' ability next turn as well. I kind of want to keep him on board right now. I know this is crazy. Yeah, I kind of want to keep him on board right now. This way we can get an attack in to face and clear the body. We're on 6. We'll go 5 here first. We'll go 5 again. We can still set up Hawkins as a blocker because we have the Kuma in hand. Because our other option here would be to just play Zeus to pop the Ores, but I don't want to actually like burn the Luffy right now. Set this back up. 4 cards in hand. We're still looking pretty good. She's going to spend another Dawn to get the blocker back up. Because this way Ores can burn the blocker at that point to swing on me. It's an interesting build that she's got going on here. There's definitely a lot of discarding. Between the Sindri and the Bello Betty, the Captain John. I'm not sure why, but I haven't seen any... What's his name? The Invisible Man, the 4-drop. I forgot. Don't know who I'm talking about. I can't think of his name. He's not relevant, I guess, but still. Anyway, it allows her to, you know, clear a character on board that has less than 2 cost, I think, if I remember. His name will come to me later. There's a Finger P. So there goes the Hawkins. Trash life. I don't know if that was a good play there, to be fair. She just finger pistoled the hawk instead of attacking and let me block with it. I don't know. I don't get that. But alright. Want to give me Luffy here too? Appreciate you, thank you. Alright, so we get a Capone, which is nice. Yeah, I don't know about that. That seemed a little strange for me. We'll clear this. The ores isn't really big of a problem, but if I can pop it for free, especially when she only has 3 cards left in hand here, you might as well. And we also have ways of getting blockers on board and still being safe this turn. Ooh, if only we can draw another Kuma. We'll take another Hawkins though. Hawkins could be pretty good. Oh, or Eustace Kid. Because we're not going to play Hawkins this turn, are we? If we drop Hawkins, we play our Luffy here. Or we play the Apu. Let's play the Apu here. Because she's going to be able to rest the Hawkins, and that way we have another blocker on board. So this will be fine. We'll stand this up, we get a Kikinojo. This is like the plus side to running this card. I still feel like I should just drop her entirely and run the Violas again. I think I feel a little bit safer behind the Violas than I do the Kikinojos. I just like having everything in the deck that has counter, which feels good. Like the only cards in the deck that don't have counter are going to be like the Katakuris, the Law, and the 8-cost Kid. If we remove the Kikinojos, then we're sitting pretty good. Because that means we only have 10 bricks outside of the Red Hawks. You know what I mean? Corona. What are you getting off this here? I love this card. This card is really good. It's a searcher and a 2K counter. You can't really go wrong. Okay, trash. Not looking so bad. I mean, there's a Kuzan in here, so I don't have to deal with that right now unless she has another one in hand. Get the Captain John. Trash 2. Okay. Throws away the Ryuma off the Corona effect. That's fine. What did you do with the Moria, actually? I'm guessing Moria got you back the Cerberus and the Corona here. Seems a little interesting. Very lackluster effect this time around. Because now you have 1 Dawn left over. Oh, no, sorry. She used the stage to get the Cerberus. Alright then. We're gonna go 8 here. That is totally okay with me, because this way you can burn a life for free. Now she's down to 2. And we have 3 attacks this turn, technically. Because we can... No, we don't have Kid. Never mind, I forgot. We got the Hawkins. That's my bad. Law lets us heal up, which is good. And then we can go ahead and flip another character here with Blocker. We don't necessarily need to play Kuma down, so this is probably our best bet. This also gives us the rest of Dawn here. And then we can make Law have Blocker this turn. We'll go 7 here. Sure. We'll clear the Doggo. And we'll clear the Perona here as well. Or at least attempt to. I assume we could. Cool. We'll go 7 lead. And then we'll play down a Capone. Just in case she does have removal here. Because I could imagine she can play down... Well, she wouldn't be able to remove the Law unless she has, like, cost reduction. But the Apu, she could. You know what I mean? We also get another Law in life that we just put up here with our leader ability, which allows us to cheat this out on board for free. With the trigger effect, which is really good. In the late game, having the extra body really helps out in matchups like Blackbeard or Bello Betty. That way we can combat board. Alright, Perona, do your worst. What you got? I still haven't seen this Moria like do anything relevant. I'm not entirely sure if the build that she is running makes like really good use of the 6-drop Moria here. Or because she hasn't had like really good targets in trash to bring back from this effect just yet. Unless I'm missing something, you know what I mean? But it feels like everything in her trash, from the Peronas to the Bello Bettys to the Johns and stuff, the Sindris, they're all just very small, just bodies. that aren't really doing anything to impact the game outside of putting trash in the trash. We've seen a Ryuma, and that's pretty much it. Okay, so there's a Eustace. That's pretty good. Yep. Contrast to Law. Forgot that card kind of existed. Very strong card, man. I wish it would come back in the metagame. Although it wasn't really meta beforehand, but hey, very strong card. Let's go ahead and go 7 here. I guess this is fine. We didn't have to let it go. Obviously, we could have blocked there. But she only has 5 cards in hand, so we can just go 15k here in one game, because that's math. Yeah, she can only have exactly 15k. And good game. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game today. Come at you guys with Eustace Kid playing in Sabello Betty. And our hand is terrible. Like, what do you want me to do? But in any case, we're going to try to play as many games as we possibly can here. I know there's going to be a bunch of leaders here in OP12, in which I have no idea about, outside of Zoro and Kuzan. Every other leader I generally don't necessarily look too far ahead into, unless it's a leader that I enjoy or I'm going to like. So, don't expect too much when I play Kid into something like off meta or something we haven't seen in a very, very long time, something that's not relevant, you know what I mean? Koala, for example. What's the other leader that comes out in OP12? I don't even remember, to be fair. Yeah, I don't remember. In any case, we're going to go ahead and dive into this matchup against Bella Betty, everyone's favorite leader in the current game. Very strong, very annoying to play against. She has seen the nuts, of course, as you can see here. And she's probably going to cook me. She got the search off. She's probably going to play down a Crossu. There it is. And yeah, 3 bodies on board turn 2. And we're about to take a lot of damage. So we're going to try to guard out here early. Our hand was already terrible in the first place. We got the mulligan the first time around, and then we got double Kikanojos here with a Red Hawk. So, yeah, not looking too good. It's not looking too good. Or 4,000 life. 4,000 power here. Give you another 2k counter. This is probably not the best case to do, but I need to stick around as long as I can here to be able to sustain with Law or Kuma. And speaking of no counter, if these Kikanojos were Violas, we'd be fine. We'd be 100% okay. Because I can go ahead and organize her life and not feel like I'm going to give her a trigger, and at the same time we can have blockers on board here. Instead, they're Kikanojos. What am I supposed to do with it, you know? We do have 1 Dawn open for the Red Hawk here, so 4 Dawn up. Not 4 Dawn, sorry, 4 cards, my bad. There's an Inazuma. Yeah, we lose. Like, what do you want me to do, man? She saw the nuts. That's crazy. Turn 3, by the way. It's so funny when you're out here at locals and you have a Bella Betty on your table and they win a game in less than 5 minutes. It's just like, what do? No trigger here, because, you know, not 5 life. We'll give you the 2k. I'm going to try my best to hang in there, because we've got to find Law and or Kuma to be able to stick on board and be able to remove bodies. Another no counter. Oh man, I messed up. That's not math. That is my bad. Yep. Because now we have to give her our hand. And we take another damage here for free. That is my fault. Math will do that to you sometimes. We do have another Zeus, which we can play Zeus down to pop something, but at the same time we lose another life in the process. 4 cards, 2 in hand. We might be able to clear some of these bodies on board. We'll put the Kid here. Give the Dawn. We need to clear the Crossu at the very least, right? That's the problematic card. But I feel like she's going to have counter for it. And there's no way she's going to let this go. But I have to try. I have to try to get rid of it. I just don't remember what she drew off of the Bella Betty searcher. Oh well. There's no way, right?
Yeah, I didn't think so. Alright, we tried, boys. We'll give this blocker. That's all we can do here. She's got 2 cards. I don't think we can come back here. Yeah, definitely not. Here comes the second Karasu. So that's just my luck. Or I guess, yeah, that's the thing. An Ivan into another Karasu. So I think she's probably going to pitch the last card to get the boost, yep. Here we go. So we go back down to a 4,000 power leader. If we can clear board next turn, we can come back. Let's go 7 to 5. We'll guard out here. That probably was not the correct thing to do, because she can just go ahead and run her other bodies into the law. I imagine she's just going to go face an endgame, but she can't do that now. She only has 1 extra attacker this turn. Oh, she's just going face. Fair. Smart. Ooh, we'll use this. Actually, yeah, so we get the... Wow, another kid. We are bricked up. Are we done? Thank you. Katakuri. The only thing we really can do is just clear bodies. And these are just all for free now, so. The problem is we don't have an extra life here. We didn't have a way of countering out there either. So we played out a Katakuri just to gain an extra life, but it goes back to our life face up, so we can't use the law ability. The other option was to remove a body on board with the Katakuri, but she still has 2 attacks, and we don't have enough counter. Because she still has 10 Dawn for the following turn, plus boost. So I don't think there's any way that we can get out of this matchup. Of course, our hand didn't necessarily help. We kept getting no counters. We saw 3 Kikanojos this game, 2 in hand, 1 on life. Or sorry, 2 Kikanojos this game. And then 3 Eustace kids. So we also saw 2 Red Hawks. Which seems a little rough. But sometimes, this is kind of how Bella Betty just rolls like this, man. These games can be over in under 5 minutes. These games can be over in like 3 turns. It just really depends on her draws, right? If she typically starts off a game with no mulligan, you're probably in for a bad time. Because sometimes it only takes, if she goes second, she's dropping down double searchers into the following turn and a Vonkov into a Karasu. That gives her 3 attacks that turn, because that makes you a 4,000 power leader. So, I mean, it all depends on what she draws. In this situation, she definitely got the nuts. So, let's see if she wants to try again. It would be nice. If not, it is what it is. We'll just move on. Sweet. We're going to go first this time. Another Kikanojo and Red Hawk. I don't want that. This is much better. Okay. Now I'm feeling pretty good, because we have blockers here. I guess we're going to take the X-Drake. Because we went first, that means we're on 7 Dawn. So we're going to go to 9 after that. Which we still have an opportunity of dropping a cost kid and a 1-drop Apu. But having a 2k early is going to be better here. Double Searcher. Nope. Okay, Koala hits the board. So now we're looking pretty good. No Searcher on the first turn. We're going to go 5 lead here. If she doesn't get a trigger, we're just going to pressure. Cool. We're going to go 5 again. Normally we would just drop down a poo. But hey, it worked out. Let's do it. Pass turnover. So it's looking pretty good for us. Definitely looking pretty good. Okay, never mind. There's the bird. Yep. It was 5 lead, I would assume. Yep. You got it. Another kid. It's not what we wanted to see. Imagine go 3 into 2 here. We do have the extra to counter out. Smart. Smart. Yep. Oh, just going face. Okay. Alright, you got it. There's another Drake. The Law. We got 2 2Ks off that. We'll clear this first. We'll drop down the Hawkins, and we'll drop down the Apu, and we'll give the Hawkins the blocker. So we have 2 blockers on board. She's at 2 life. Kikinojo. This is a much better time. But again, she high rolled me last game, you know? So. And it's not that if Bella Betty doesn't high roll, she doesn't win. It's more so like when she high rolls, it feels so one-sided, if that makes sense to you. And I think a lot of people feel the same when it comes to this deck. I have no qualms with it. I don't feel like, it's super overpowered or I hate playing against it. Nothing like that. It's just like, you know, when she sees the nuts, she sees the nuts, right? It is what it is. I think it's better here to see Bello into the metagame than not seeing Bello into the metagame. I don't like seeing decks that are just all of the same. So, you know, seeing Luffy every day is not a fun time. And I think a lot of people have already got burnt out with OP11. So hopefully going into OP12 with a new ban wave coming up here this month, we can see a whole lot of things change. That would be really, really nice. Okay, so I got Morley on board, which is interesting. I don't see a lot of lists that are still running this card, or at least hard casting it, so we will be healing up here. We'll put Law here. Because this way, when we decide to take a damage next turn, we can play Law from our life with the trigger effect, because we have 5 life together, which is nice. And we can give Hawkins back blocker this turn. I don't think she wants to go to 1 here. But hopefully we can force it. Okay. Still utilizing that event. Well played. I guess I should have assumed as much, but hey, good game. Round 3. Because we gotta get that tiebreaker. Fair enough. Alright. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be 100%. I haven't a clue what Koala does. First time playing against this leader. First time actually looking into what this leader does. So don't expect too much from this game. I will try my best. This is just a generic search. Fair enough. Sabo, Kuma. I have no idea what she even plays. I'll be fair. This might be a rough game. I guess we just go 8. Yeah, we just go 8. 4 life leader. That's fine. Sure. She left the Dawn up, so I thought some sort of event or what have you. I have no idea. This might be a fun deck to build. I do love the color scheme. It reminds me of the Big Mom, you know, the OG black yellow Big Mom. That was very, very fun. But okay. What does this do? Okay, that's nice. It's pretty good. I do think Koala utilizes the Robin, though, I believe. I don't know what the Robin does, but all I know is she's a blocker. She's pretty good. Outside of that. Let's go 5 lead, I guess. I don't really want to play a body here, and then Hack just KOs it. Because we can play down the Kikinojo here, we can play down the Apu, the Law. I think we have to go 5 first and see what she wants to do here. She takes the hit. Interesting. Weird. Wait, what just happened? Oh, she got the trigger. Okay, Sabo trigger. Speaking of Robin, you may trash. Oh, that's really good. Oh man, that is really, really good. I like that. Unfortunately for us, we have nothing but blockers and counter in hand. Man, that Robin card's good. It's like the 4-drop Law, you know, the purple one, but except for you don't have to minus Dawn. And it's a 9 cost. with a 7,000 power block. That is really good. Let's go 5 lead here. Sabo. She's also utilizing the 5 cost Sabo in this deck. This deck looks pretty nutty, man. Pops Kikinojo. I get to heal life at least, but we can heal another one here too. Cool. I don't know if that's gonna matter because I don't know what her late game, her late game options are. I really don't. I have no idea. Dragon. Okay. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I love that. Because now we have to discard 2 more, right? Yo, that sucks, man. I guess we'll keep the other Apu. We'll get rid of 2K. I don't know. It seems like a win-win on her part. That is really good. Okay, Katakuri. We do have Cat here. So now we can play Katakuri and put the dragon in the bottom of life, I guess. Maybe that's the correct play. Oh yeah, she gets to do a thing, doesn't she? Her leader ability. I mean, we didn't have a choice, so. So she does a damage, basically, when we play a big body on board. I like that. We can't swing over the Robin, because it's a 7K. She's got a whole book in hand. Let's go 5 lead, I guess. Sure. Go 7. Let's go 7 here. That way we can get cards out of hand. Which probably wasn't the correct play, but I don't necessarily think it matters because I know she had Kumas. Because she got one earlier from the search. Considering she gave us one here, kind of tells me she probably has another one. Oh wait, she can take Kuma from trash. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Yo, I might actually build this deck. This is pretty spicy, man. Definitely like an off-meta thing, I think, but who knows? After these bans, this could be really, really good. I mean, it seems pretty scary. Being able to take Kuma from trash, play Kuma down to heal life, or play Nico Robin from trash to make your opponent discard cards while getting a blocker on board that's an 8 cost, or sorry, a 9 cost 7K. That's good. 9K lead. I think we just got cooked, boys. 100% got cooked. But it's okay. First time I saw this anyway. This is a really, really cool deck. I can't really counter out here, can I? I have to give her my whole hand, realistically. And we just lose. It was fun though. Really like this one. Guess we can drop Law. We'll go ahead and heal up again. There's not really much else we can do. She's got a whole book in hand. We're gonna have to try to go for board here if possible. And there's no way she doesn't have counter in hand. But what are you gonna do? So I think in this situation we just go, what, 7 and then 8, 9, I guess? I suppose, because we can at least clear one of them, I think, by going 9K. Okay, never mind. I lied. It was fun, Koala. You know, you didn't have to bully me so hard, but, you know, I appreciate it. Thanks for playing. We'll give this blocker here. I'd appreciate if you, you know, kill the Kuma so I can heal again, but you probably won't do that. We do have 3 blocks on board, though. It's just potentially we're not getting out of this. We don't have 0 cost, we don't have Veggie in life, you know, so. Overall, not mad. Very cool deck. So your end game here is Kuma Dragon. At least the chain, you know, so Dragon chains these 2 characters back and forth from the trash to give you value, which seems to be really good. Okay, another Kuma goes to 5 life. So basically she can play Kuma, trash a Kuma in hand, then the following turn play a dragon to play another Kuma from trash. That's actually really good. Kind of cheesy, but it's pretty good. 4 Dawn open. Cool. Not that it matters here, I don't think. This might be risky. I don't think we can clear the dragon, but we're going to try. Let's either go for dragon or go for the Robin. Can we get this? Oh, okay. Alright. Wishful thinking, we clear both of these? Yeah, I didn't think so. Dang, man. Well played. Sure. Yeah, even if we were able to clear that one, she still had the game anyway. So, we'll take the 2K. Just do it. Well played. Not even mad. Depending how long this game is, we'll probably do maybe 1 or 2 more after this one. Then we'll dive back into the deck list. Give or take. Now, I'll be fair with you guys. I am not having fun into this matchup with Eustace Kid. I feel like a lot of my cards here are kind of irrelevant, right? Kuzan has a lot of ways of making characters not be able to attack. With the 6-cost Kuzan, he has the Gravity Blades, the Red Rocks, 3,000 Worlds if he wants to utilize that as well. He has bounce mechanics with the Jozu. When it comes to Kid, a lot of our stuff pertains to getting value if it survives a turn. So being able to play down the 6-cost Kuma against a lot of other matchups is really good, except for when they have access to the Gravity Blade. Because all they have to do is let it just, alright, pass turn, not attack into it or what have you, then Gravity Blade at the following. Therefore, we don't get the extra heal. On top of that, our big bodies here, it's a little bit harder to trade into his bodies on board. Kuzan is one of those decks where he never really feels like he's out of cards. He always has a pretty big hand, which is kind of nice. He has access to the pudding, of course, as well, for removal. On top of being able to just slap down big body after big body. And they also have access to the 8-cost Navy blocker, which allows them to bottom deck small blockers on my side of the board, which, being the Apu and the Beji, don't get a lot of value here. But hey, we're gonna try our best. I'm gonna show you guys the power of Kuzan, or at least hopefully not. You know what I mean? Hopefully this matchup isn't going to be like a one-sided type ordeal. I play this deck quite a bit. I'm very excited to play Kuzan. I just know he has a pretty good matchup into Eustace Kid, and I feel like he has a pretty good matchup overall into the metagame, unless he's going to be running into Luffy variations, whereas our top end is not as good as theirs, but you know what? We can make do. In any case, let's go ahead and see what we can cook up here. 5 lead. I typically like to take the first hit. I don't like to give them my blockers early game or give them counter out of hand right away. They typically outlast me when it comes to how much of a book they can draw over what I typically have. Now, with that being said, we're going to take the first hit. We do get a Hawkins here, which is pretty good. He goes up to, he's got 6 Dawn here. This could be a Jozu moment as well. Play Jozu down, bounce Sengoku, give us back a blocker the hand, which also allows him to play Sengoku back down. Plays Kuzan here instead. So that gives me the impression that he didn't have another big body or didn't want to play anything here at this point, because he had access to pudding, another searcher with the Tashigi. Interesting. We'll take that. Freezes our Luffy. I think we have to play Law here on curve. As much as I want to play Hawkins down, I feel like it's kind of a step backwards, and I want to be able to combat his board, because I know he goes into 8 Dawn next turn, which gives him access to the Aramaki with the Garp combination, or a Garp into a Sakazuki or Kuzan, which is 2 more big bodies. So I want to have Law ready to swing, or Law on board for him to Red Rock me, but he can't Red Rock it because we have the Beji. I think Law is definitely the better play. Speaking of Hawkins, we put him back on life here, that way we can filter out our hand, and hopes to be able to draw more big bodies. So there's the Garp The cool thing about this is every time he discards a card, Kuzan draws a new card. If when he discards, it's through the effect of a Navy card. So whether that's an event, Navy event, or a Navy character, Kuzan gets to draw that replacement, which is pretty good. So if you look at the thing like Sengoku over there, the 3-drop, Sengoku allows you to take 2 Navy cards and add them to your hand. Then you must discard 1 card in your hand. Then you also get to draw a card off the card you discarded due to your leader ability. So you get to draw 3 cards, basically, which is really good. 5 lead. We can block the other Kuzan here with the Law. So we're going to trigger this first. We don't really need the Hawkins at this point, because we're not going to be playing him next turn. We are going to have to do either a cost Kid or play Kuma down. Then we can block here with the Law. That way we don't have to take this hit as well. We can hold off the other 2 small blockers for the following turn. When he does drop the Aramaki, it's going to be problematic here in this matchup. We gained a Red Hawk, which Red Hawk can't really touch anything that he has on board right now. So I can actually just drop this, because he's going to be able to swing over me anyway. Red Hawk pushes me up to 8. He attaches 1 Don, goes 9. We still need to give him a 2k at that point, so. We'll swing here for 6. We will be dropping another Veggie on board. So now we're safe, right? Our big bodies are safe. We're chilling. Law can't swing this turn. That doesn't mean we can't give him blocker, so we'll do that. We'll pass it over. Kuzan's board is looking pretty scary because he also has a pretty solid hand along with 3 bodies on board that can swing for 8k. There's the Aramaki. So now he starts to remove our small chump blockers, which makes this matchup very, very difficult to deal with here. 2 Don open, which gives him access to Peacock, which is similar to Gum Gum Giant, except for worse. I mean, you discard a card, you gain 4,000 power, pushes Kuzan up to a 9, then you draw 1 off Kuzan's ability. Basically, it's the same thing, except for you draw one less card. So, now, we removed a Veggie, so we have 2 blockers left that we're probably going to have to pitch here if he decides to swing on my face. Because he does have access, again, to going 888 or 988. I'd imagine he'd leave up Dawn for him to be able to protect his bodies on board. We'll guard here. This is just the easiest one. And hopefully he doesn't go for... Okay, he's probably going to go for the Law. Yep. I don't want to give him either one of my blockers here. So we'll have to give him a 2k counter in hand. I definitely need to keep Veggie on board in case he has the Red Rock. Goes 8 lead, that's fine. Get another 2k. Another 2k. Our hand's looking pretty good. Yo, relax. I mean, I'm not mad, but still. 6 in hand. He does have the event up, considering he left 1 Dawn. Let's force it if he does have it. I'm trying to empty the hand as best as I can here. I think going for face is definitely not the play, because it just leaves his big bodies on board, in which we only have 2 big attacks this turn. Goes to 12, draws another card off that. I think we have to try to clear one of these bodies here. Regardless if we get the blocker or not, one of them has to go. We have 6 Dawn left. If Kuma can... Never mind. We can't clear it. 9. Okay. 3 cards left. I guess it doesn't matter which one we take out here, because they're all going to be 8Ks anyway. So, we don't need the last on net either. Even though we could go ahead and just, like, flex the Red Hawk, it just kind of seems irrelevant here. We need to be able to clear the body. And then going 10k and he pitches off a 10 and a 1, or sorry, 2k and a 1k, it kind of just cooks me at that point. Throws down another blocker here with the Hina. He's going to be able to remove the Veggie this turn with the Aramaki effect. 7 Dawn open. So Kuzan leader can swing for 7, then he can go 9 and 9 with Garp and Kuzan. That gives him 3 Dawn left over. So if he wants to attach Dawn to Sengoku, he can do that as well. Which leaves him 1 Dawn left for another Peacock. Okay, never mind. Sengoku hits the board. Sorry, Sakazuki hits the board. Which he gets to draw off this and give a... Oh, okay. He didn't activate Sakazuki's effect. Interesting. Just going 5 here. Well then, at this point, we can just guard out with Law as well, but we also want to have the Kikinojo on board here. This should really help us, like, clear some of these bodies next turn. 8 lead. Some of these attacks we can guard. I'm just worried about if we guard out with Law, does he run his Aramaki into it? Let's try it. If he does, he does. That means 1 less blocker we have to deal with next turn. I'm hoping he doesn't, but he might. 8 lead. That puts us to 1 life. And if we can't clear board next turn, we just lose at that point. So he has 2 bodies on board with block. We'll guard this attack here. Unfortunately, we have to get rid of the Apu. We could have dumped hand, but I don't think it matters because he's just going to bottom deck it anyway next turn. Or sorry, his next turn. And then I think he clears Law here, right? Because Hina could stay alive to protect for the Aramaki. Never mind. Okay, we'll take those. We get a Red Hawk. So we could either Zeus or Red Hawk the Hina if he doesn't protect. But then we just go down 1 life, which if we're not able to clear the rest of the bodies here on board without having a Law in hand, we probably will lose. He does guard out from hand on the Garb. 2 cards left, no Dawn up. We're going to try again. Go 10 into this one more time. Okay, we got that. I don't think playing Zeus here is the correct move. Because going to 1, we just get cooked, right? So that's still 3 bodies. Plus lead swing on 1 life. We have a decent amount of counter in hand, but no blockers up. We get to restand the Law, give that blocker. I don't think that's enough. Because in case he has like a Red Rock, you know? I think we should just go heavy here. And then risk him just giving us the Hina. I think that beats playing down the Zeus. Or, actually, oh wait, math. We can do X-Drake here, can't we? Because we're on 2 life. So technically we could play X-Drake the rest of the Hina. 6, 7, 8, it's 9. We could do that. Gives me cards in hand? Yes? Okay, cool. Now it's too late though. It's fine. It is what it is. Cool. We'll take those. We'll stand Law back up. We get another Hawkins, which is really good there. And then we have the 1 cost event Red Hawk as well. Does he have the rock? That's Gravity Blade. Okay. That's equally as bad. But we might be able to self-sustain. If we can find another Law here, we should be fine. He did have a Red Rock as well. He's using Hina's effect. He can't rest anything, but he can just pitch a card to draw a card off the effect. That's actually really good. That's a good way of thinking about that. I never thought about it. I think in my variation of Kuzan, I don't even remember if we actually utilized Hina. I don't think so, but I don't think we did. It's a pretty good effect. I mean, she's a 2K, but we didn't really utilize her like on board, you know what I mean? So, drops the 2, gives the rested, draws a card off the Sakazuki, goes 9. Swings 9 here. Who's to say he swings here with Garb? He probably will. Go ahead and trigger this. There's the Law. So we're able to self-sustain off the Law. Thanks to the Hawkins. We'll go 9 here, we'll give you a 2K counter. And now we should be able to clear board. He has 1 card in hand. We'll go 5 into the Hina. We'll clear this. Get that out of the way. And then we can go 10k into Sakazuki. I should have played Law down first, but it's irrelevant, it's fine. Then we'll play down another Law to heal back up. Doesn't matter what we put on life here. Give that arrested, sure. Give this blocker. We'll pass it back. So he did have Red Rock. He pitched that for Hina's ability. Instead, he could have Red Rocked the blocker Law and then dealt with the other characters differently, maybe. But this is fine. This works out. He's still able to draw 3 cards here, so. He went from 0 cards to 3 cards by playing 1 Searcher down. That is just so good. He does find another blocker. Thankfully, we kept the X-Drakes. Because the Zeus is here, we wouldn't be able to just remove this, you know, just on site. At least with X-Drake, we can rest it and then just go for face or go for board here for the following turn. We'll block this one. Goes 8 here, which leads me to believe he has got a Peacock in hand. We can counter out and give him 1 X-Drake and 1 Zeus, just in case, you know what I mean? Yeah, of course we can restand the Law with blocker next turn, but I don't think we're gonna have to do that. Okay. We'll play X-Drake down, we'll rest the blocker. That's pretty good. He's got 2 cards in hand, 1 Dawn up, so that's probably gonna be a Peacock. I still need to clear the Garp some way, shape, or form this turn if possible. We're not going to play anything else besides Kikunojo on board here, so. You know what? This is more important. Let's go 10 here. Okay, cool. Because he doesn't have the Peacock. We'll go 11 here, just to clear this. We could have went 6 and got cards out of hand. That's probably the better option, but let's see if we can do damage. Nice. Okay, we'll play this on board and we'll pass it back over. We don't get to restand anything, and nothing gains blocker here, but he doesn't have any form of rush in this deck unless he's utilizing the 8-cost Secret Luffy, which he could, and that would be a spicy tech choice, but I think we're safe. He gets another Kuzan. Does he have the Garp? Because if he has Garp, he can play Garp and Kuzan down, draw some extra cards, freeze my Law, and then hopefully draw another Peacock off that for him. And at that point, we have 4 attacks next turn. There's the Garp. He did have Kuzan. Play Sakazuki instead. Yep. Gets 2 more cards. Just so good, man. 3 into 3. We have 1 2k in hand. I'll actually guard out here, because he can't clear this any other way unless he attacks into it with lead. Which basically X-Drake becomes a pseudo blocker at that point, which is nice. Now we're still at 2 life instead of being at 1. Okay, so we get another Zeus. I think we can win this turn, unless he has Peacock now. Because we're going to have to play the Eustace Kid, I think. Give me a second, let me think about this. Go 9, he's got 4. This will force him the Peacock, right? They give me a 2k counter as well. If he takes the damage, perhaps he's looking for 1, or he's looking for more counter. Okay, that's 2 2ks out of hand. I think we're safe enough to be able to drop the Kid and then be able to clear game here. And it still could be a Peacock. It still could be. What does it do exactly? I think he has to trash the card, right? I'm pretty sure. Where is it? There it is. Blah, blah. Yeah. So he has to trash the card. I'm not sure how the sim interacts with the card, or unless he still gets the effect without having the trash one. I'm pretty sure he can play it without having the trash a card. So we're still going to have to be able to burn the life with the kid and then swing for 3 more swings this turn to be able to win the game. Okay, 1k counter. Well played, man. We swing here first in case it's a red rock. That way, if we swung the Law and then red rocks, he bottom decks the Kikunoja, then we lose next turn. Alright, are we chilling? We're chilling. Well played, man. Very close game. Scary deck, dude.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this will be the last game of the day. Then we'll dive back into the deck list here, and I'll bring you back.
Unfortunately, we were going to do one more, but the Kuzan match was like 20 minutes, give or take, and we did like 2 games of Perona, which happened to be 20 minutes as well. So I'm just like, you know what? We'll wrap it up after this. What is this search, man? Sim in a nutshell. And it's weird because it was Kuzan Law. Like, what do you want from me? Anyway, this will be the last matchup for the day. Then we're going to dive back into another deck following Kid, which will probably be King. I was supposed to have King done prior to this one, but my thumbnail has been kind of late, unfortunately, so it is what it is on that note. But after King, we will be diving into all OP12 going forward. King is going to be a OP12 iteration because there isn't a lot of stuff from him for PRB in OP12, you know what I mean? So I'm going to do my very best with how the deck can be played, and we'll have a good time as we typically do. He is an off-meta leader, very, very fun. I know a lot of people like the leader, so we're going to get back into that for a little bit. In any case, OP12, I'm very excited to be showcasing a bunch of new decks here on the channel, let alone playing with O leaders with a bunch of new cards. Queen will be coming here very, very soon as well. Yes, Queen. I said Queen. It's been a long time since we got to feature that deck, but hey, maybe now is the time, man. The meta has slowed down a little bit. It's not necessarily all aggro as much as it was before, and Nell is not necessarily a problem. He's gone, you know what I mean? We don't see Bello Betty and Zoro every single place, so Lucci's not necessarily here all the time either, so we might be able to cook up a little bit of games here with Queen and OP12, especially with the new Kuzan. So we're going to go ahead and try that, but without further ado, let's dive back into this matchup and see what we can do here. Thankfully, we got the extra. We have another one in hand here as well. We should be able to remove the Tashigi here. The cool thing about the interaction was, considering we were talking, you play down the X-Drake in this matchup, and you're able to rest the Tashigi. Therefore, the Tashigi cannot protect the Smoker. So even though they decided to play Tashigi and Smoker on the same turn, Tashigi is irrelevant against a yellow matchup if they have the X-Drake when that opponent is lower life than you. Because you can just rest the Tashigi, therefore her effect cannot go off, and it can't protect anything. The downside to this is, they were able to guard out here to keep it on board, and then play Hody Jones. So, Hody Jones kind of cooks Kid, man. There's nothing I can do about it, especially when this deck utilizes so many chump blockers, when it only takes 1 or 2 Hodys just to guarantee the game, in most cases. Because we have to play the Zeus to burn the life to kill the Smoker, which also affects us negatively. Yes, we remove the Smoker, but of course they can play down another one with another search from a Virgo or a Peacock to draw into it to play it back down. Then it becomes a whole another problem. So, and don't ask me why I guarded out like that. I was talking. I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to pay attention, and I'll be fair. It's like 2 in the morning, so don't crucify me too much. Right? We're getting there. Ooh, this card's pretty good. That helps them protect their Tashigi and their Smoker on board, which can be kind of rough. Or sorry, Tashigi is actually special. Smoker, on the other hand, is Slash, I think. Alright, we'll try this again. We'll go 5 here. We got to remove the Hody Jones, which is nice. They have the counter, which is a new Jewelry Bonnie. Nothing else I can really do here. Can't swing into the Virgo either. I think Smoker is going to be a very, very scary deck going forward. If these new bans come out and it really hurts the Luffy players, and we're talking about all Luffys in general, so Gum Gum Giants or like whatever they decide to do, okay? Smoker is going to be terrifying. Smoker, Zoro, And I think Blackbeard will be really, really good. And Shanks, of course, will also be very, very good. I think those will probably be the top 4 decks. Yeah, I think those will be the top decks. So you have Smoker, Shanks, Blackbeard, and who did I say? Who am I missing? Zoro, sorry. I think those would be the top 4. If these new bans come out and they negatively impact the Luffys, this is going to be a very fun metagame. In any case, second Hody hits the board. What do you want me to do? Because I am cooked at this point. And this seems to be like my typical Smoker matchups with Eustace Kid. They either find one Hody and we're able to hang on, or they find multiple Hody and there's nothing I can do about it. And no, I don't think Hody's a problematic ban target. I think the card's great. He's awesome. No one complained about this card really until this set, when so many other green decks were utilizing him. Because prior to this, it was just Yamato, right? That was it. You didn't really find Hody in any other deck outside of Yamato and Bonnie, when Bonnie wasn't even necessarily like top. Now that you have Smoker, Bonnie, and Zoro can also utilize this, and Shirahoshi, which gets much better going into OP12. Hody's pretty good. He's pretty good. But in any case, I'm pretty sure we're cooked here, boys. I am pretty sure we're cooked. We've got 2 cards in hand, no counter really. We have 1 Dawn open for the Red Hawk, but it's not really going to matter here because we have to be able to swing over the Chopper, which is a 7k. So we're going to go 10k here. They do have 2 blockers on board, and I doubt we remove the Hody here. If we do, we're chilling, but it's not going to happen. So we do have access to giving the Law blocker, which is okay, unless they have the Honesty Impact, or they have a another Hody Jones, or Straw Sword for that matter. Sure. I don't want to give this one blocker. I think we just give this one blocker. Or it really doesn't matter, because if they have either or, they just rest them anyway. Unfortunately, we also had another 8-cost kid in life, so that does suck. But I had no other choice. 10 Dawn open. They don't need to necessarily play 8-cost Eustace Kid either here. Perona. So this is going to be a Mihawk turn. Yep, there's the Mihawk. They restand all of that Dawn, basically. That card is pretty darn good, man. Very, very strong card. They played an 8-drop for 3 Dawn. There's a Mulgun. So Mulgun's going to be able to do minus 5,000 power on a character. Or they're going to pop the 4-cost Law, which I doubt it. Yeah, I didn't think so. And 5,000, not 4,000. So Katakuri's dead this turn. My 4-drop Law is probably dead as well. They've got 2 blockers on board. 3 Dawn open, which gives them access to the 2-cost event. I can't protect this here either. If we guard out with Law, they still have enough counter to attach the Hody and still play the event down, so. Assuming they have it, which I'm sure they do. There's 6. 6 here. Yeah, they have the event, because otherwise you just go 7 to guarantee the clear at this stage. And Hody goes 8. And then we can guard out here safely. Which now, this turn, we should be able to remove at least the Mihawk on board. At the very least. Not so great. So I guess we're going to take the Hawkins here just to have the counter. I mean, we can restand this to burn life, but we just really need it for the 1k. We're not going to take another Eustace Kid here either. Nor can we play Eustace Kid and be safe. Sure, he'll draw us a card, but it doesn't get us any closer to winning the game. So, let's do it like this. We'll burn this. And then we'll guarantee the Hody or the Mihawk, depending on how he wants to play this. We'll go 7 into the Tsushigi. That gives us 3 Dawn left to attach to the Law. Just let it go. please, just let it go. We don't need it. At this point, you don't need it. So they did have the event. Goes up to 8, makes me a 7, minus this 2 on the law. That's terrible. Well played on his part. And we'll remove the fish man here. So now this turn he still has at least 3 swings, right? Because we can't restand the law for blocker because we still have the kid face up. Technically, we probably should have taken the hit, I guess. I guess we should have. But I really didn't know if he had another Hody in hand or what have you. And I think now, looking back on it, if we had taken a hit, we might have gotten one more turn. Maybe. And we were talking about when he swung with the Hody for 8, we blocked out with the law. I think we should have taken the hit. But at this point, we would have had 2 kids and then a Hawkins in hand. And then the last life got to be able to restand the law. So this turn, he would be swinging at me, what? Still 3 hits, I guess? So I don't think it would have mattered. Because that's 9. He's got 5 Dawn. So yeah, there we go, 999. Well played, buddy. Well played.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the end of the video, in which today we played around with Eustace Kid in OP12. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me when it comes to this leader. I always enjoy playing anything yellow related. I don't know what it is. I love having the life manipulation aspect of the game, being able to play things with Kuma, Soul Focus, you know, whatever I'm utilizing here to heal life or give my opponent that interaction is a lot of fun for me. So I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. Kid, on the other hand, I do think this leader's going to have a pretty good time here in the metagame, depending on how these bans shift. But at the same time, if Hody Jones is still prevalent going into OP12, if Hody Jones does not get hit and these Luffy players do, you're going to see a shift in green decks with Jewelry Bonnie, Law, Shirahoshi, because she does gain access to some new cards. And this leader is really, really good, mind you. It's really, really good. But at the end of the day, all of these green decks have access to Hody Jones. And I think green is going to be the more dominant color if Luffy goes sideways during this new ban wave. But we'll see how it goes. Hody is pretty strong into yellow. He's pretty strong into any deck in the current format. I don't think that's necessarily Kid's only issue, because Blackbeard exists, and you know, we all know what Blackbeard does. You know, when you're playing a deck that literally has nothing but on plays, you know, Eustace Kid, you can't really exist in this matchup unless you guys are seeing Basil Hawkins, sorry, and Kikinojos in the early game. This matchup is abysmal into Blackbeard. Outside of that, though, Kid can have some fun times. Now, going forward for me, I think we will be diving into Koala a little bit. I had a lot of fun into my matchups today with Kid into this. I don't necessarily see this leader a lot, and I don't see a lot of people are talking about her or hyping this leader up. I think this leader is pretty darn good. Being able to, you guys saw the showcase earlier, I think this is really cool. So it's something we will be diving into very, very soon here on the channel. Get a little spin off on this deck, my take on it, and all that sort of thing. But that's in the future, a couple days from now. For the time being, Kid, this is what we're cooking up here in OP12. Again, I did mention that I don't necessarily favor Kikinojo. I do feel that running around with Viola, the way that my OP11 variation of Kid was or is, I do think this is a little bit better. And I do think this is probably my list I'm going to go forward for OP12. I think this card is pretty strong here, being able to flip your life face down if your opponent decides to stall you out or prevent you from flipping something else on your side of the board to give blocker. Viola allows you to fix that, also allows you to reorganize your opponent's life to see what's coming up. I think this card is pretty good here for this deck. With that being said, I do hope you guys still give this leader a try for OP12 and leave your thoughts and your opinions down in the comments below. This has been Pawseplays. If you guys are interested in more One Piece content, you guys know where to find me. Remember, boys and girls, hit that like button so we can get these videos floating around, and I will catch you guys at locals and or at the next pre-release. Good luck out there. Stay safe. I'll see y'all later.